Looks like I'm living rent-free in your heads again, huh? I mean, if you're gonna spend your days obsessing over me, you might as well start calling me something respectable. Maybe Daddy Shizzy, or better yet, Papa Nut. Who's the grown-up here? Alright, it's me. Let's go. Call me Daddy, yeah, that's who I am. Running your minds like a master plan. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy, take your pick. I'm rolling in your thoughts while you still act sick. Call me Daddy, it's what you need. While you chase the crooks and I take the lead. Living rent-free, that's my name. Go ahead, say it, put some respect on the name. Man, I'm too old, well here's a surprise. I'm the one with the brains while you're stuck with the lies. You act like you're experts, but here's the reality. I'm the one controlling your mental reality. So while you're out there trying to throw shade, I'm sipping coffee and you're feeling betrayed. You're mad, I got the spotlight, now it's my time. So why not call me Daddy or Papa with a rhyme? I'm the landlord and you're just the tenants, stuck in your headspace with no insight, no repentance. Call me Daddy, you know it's true. You'd be lost without me, stuck in the glue. Call me Daddy, I'm holding your mind while you're scrambling, trying to find what's behind. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy, don't you see? You're living in my world now, I'm a VIP. Call me Daddy, just let it be. While you're trying to figure out your own identity. Oh, I see you're confused, trying to get it right, spinning your wheels while I'm out of sight. You think you've got it figured, but you got it all wrong. I've been running your minds all along. But sure, keep pretending you don't care. Keep saying you're done, but I'm still in the air. You got no choice but to bow to my name. Daddy Shizzy is here to own the game. You say you don't watch, but you're obsessed. Every word I say puts you to the test. Call me Daddy, Papa Nut, you know you should. Because I've been living rent-free, and you know it feels good. Shizzy Daddy, owning your headspace, and there's no escape. Good luck with that.
The holiday week, man, this is the weekend before the holiday, and it is just getting crazier and crazier before the new year. Welcome everybody to another day, another dollar before I am out of here for a short period of time. Look at this, Debbie Baker with the 5 gifted Shizzy Was Nut memberships. Welcome to
the shit show.
Every single day, a new flavor of fuckery. 'Cause everybody sucks, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of rocks. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, balder, dash, pop, cock, bollocks, and fuckery. Oh, yes. Ooh, it is so good to see all of you. Thank you, Debbie Baker, for the 5 gifted memberships. That is very, very, very kind of you. And I hope that you are planning on having a good holiday week. It is going to be crazy. Wes in Bama, good to see you. Good to see you. It's showtime as always. Yes, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to all. Happy Hanukkah, whatever you might be celebrating. It is. I hope that everybody is going to have a. No, you'll get the Christmas closing, because that will be the last that you will probably see of me until after Christmas. So I'm going to give you guys the wonderful Christmas closing, and it'll be there for quite a bit. And also in the clouds with another 5 gifted memberships, and I'll hit that song later. I don't want to overload everybody, but thank you so much, In the Clouds, and we will hit that also. And also looks like Travis has come by. What you doing, Willis? Good to see you, man. Great stuff. Hey Shizzy, what you doing, Willis? Raid? Oh yes, definitely, definitely. He is absolutely wonderful person, wonderful person. I hope that he's bringing you guys plenty of smiles, plenty and plenty of smiles. Also, Fallen Hero with the $5 super sticker. Thank you so much. That is much appreciated. Thank you very much. Oh my gosh. And Wes Bama, he loves the end of that song. That ooh, hey grandkids taxi, how are you doing? It is wonderful to see sunshine shillelagh. that's almost what it looks like. It looks like sunshine shillelagh. Oh, good to see all of you guys. Yes. Hello. Gerhard. T. Marias. I think I got that right. I'm really bad with names. Oh, hey, how you doing? And the bombshells keep dropping. Do you have another bombshell? Do you have another bombshell there? Man, because if you do, you're always welcome to give a teaser on it. And what I'll do is I always forget to do those. There's a few people that I never mind having on. Willis is one of them. He is always welcome to come and join me. And I don't have any way of, I could probably search out his email, but I always tend to forget to do that because, well, I'm shook really bad. I'm not the greatest at this here YouTube thing. There's this thing called YouTube. You get on here, you do a few things and then you sort of mess up like I do. I'm really bad with it. Oh, let's see. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. It's easy to drop it there. Of course, you can always pass that on to other people. It stays the same. Stays the same as always. I hit it on your what the hell's there, Jeremy. If you're wanting to come by and give a little teaser on the bombshell that's coming, you're welcome to do that. Hello, Jeremy. Good to see you. Good to see Travis. All you 5 people, and Travis is always busy. Music with a lot of harmonizing voices is best. Really enjoying all of my music. Well, thank you, Suzanne. I've got some other stuff. And in case you didn't see it, there was a new song that I put out that I thought was addressing the crazy insane post that the flea put up, because she put up this post that was so ambiguous that responding to it was like, I don't think I could really give a great response to it because it was so asinine. But what I did is I put together a song, in response to it, because I thought it was completely appropriate in this. Was this one right here. And I'm pretty sure this is the unedited version, or maybe it's not. I'm not sure, but I think, nope, this is not the right one. I've got to get the right one. Give me a second, because I do have it uploaded on my channel. It should be available to everyone. And this is without the actual lyrics that were put in there. It was something I was like, they're missing so much of what these bombshells are about. It is very much that all of their BS is being called out, and it's been called out time and time again. And it's getting harder, I think, for them to really keep up with their lies. And that, I think, is one of the biggest things that we've seen come out of all this, is them not being able, they're faltering on a regular basis of getting their lies pushed out there. I think people are starting to see exactly what's been going on in this. And it's, where did it go? Why is it not showing up? I thought I had it, and doggone. Ah, there it is. I'm looking for it, and I'm like, no, it's here somewhere. But yeah, this is the original version of it with nothing scrolled in there. And I thought it was well seated in a response to the claims that they're making that it's violence if you're dropping these bombshells. That's a threat of violence. But there's never been any threats of violence towards them. I mean, the only people that have made threats of violence, you got Paint Chips that's made threats of violence. You've got Volpe that's made threats of violence. You got Deuce that's made threats. You've got Lips that's made threats. All these people keep threatening. They keep saying, we're going to do X, Y, or Z unless you start pulling this stuff down. So this was a response to all of their shenanigans of not understanding.
I have something so good it drops. Like a bombshell.
Oh, yeah.
I don't whisper, I don't tiptoe, I don't beg. I say it straight, 10 toes, foot on your neck. And every time I open my mouth with facts, somebody screams harassment while clutching their ass. I don't attack people, I attack bullshit. I read the rules, then I aim dead center and pull it. You don't like my tone, that's adorable, pal. But YouTube don't enforce hurt feelings or how you scowl. I plan my content, yeah, damn right I do. That's called effort, not a hit squad crew. I schedule drops cause I know what I'm doing, not cause I'm lurking in Discord recruiting goons. Same topic, I cover facts. Same week, news don't wait for naps. Multiple channels talking, that's the web. Not a conspiracy, cause I won't play dead. I don't need coordination, I don't need backup. I bring the receipt so low, tighten the strap up. You want harassment, show me the proof. Not your panic attack with attitude. Bombshell! I'm not the problem, I'm the test. Bombshell! You feel exposed, I feel blessed. Say it loud, say it clean, tell yourself whatever helps. But me speaking facts ain't harassment, champ, it's hell. Bombshell! They freak out when I use words like destroy. Like truth delivered hard is a dangerous toy. But metaphors don't swing fists, don't break bones. They just hit harder when you're already exposed. I don't threaten, I don't sick, I don't send mobs. I don't tell anyone to go harass the jobs. I talk, I analyze, I connect the dots. If that scares you, congrats, it's working a lot. You try to nail me for a teaser, like I committed crimes in a trailer. No content posted, no rule breached. You try to strike a thought, that's weak, chief. Policy ain't forward, looking paranoia. It's backward facing cold and loyally loyal. You can't punish me for what you fear I'll say. That's not enforcement, that's pissing your pants in public. Okay, I don't need hypotheticals to land a hit. I bring examples, citations, concrete shit. If it ain't true, you got no claim. So stop trying to arrest smoke and call it a win. No threat, no target, no call to burn. Just commentary you couldn't outlearn. You can hate my edge, my mouth, my shell, but taste ain't law, read the rules you sell. Bombshell! Bombshell! You try to twist my words, make shadows scream. Turn slang and sarcasm in a crime scene. Shiny bracelets, vague by design. No names, no facts, just a phrase you mind. You need false statements stated as true about a real damn person, not true, not you. Implication ain't evidence, fear ain't law. And stretching policy just shows where you're raw. You say I build us versus them like it's some threat. Buddy commentaries always drawing lines in the sand. Still no call to action, no go get them shit. Just me saying what I see while you clutch your pearls and branch. You keep saying good, might, maybe may. I say show me where I crossed it, you look away. Because deep down you know the truth hurts like hell. I didn't break policy, I broke your spell. This isn't harassment. This is what happens when someone won't lie politely or shut up comfortably. So you don't have to look stupid. Do better or yeah, bombshell. Style ain't sin, backbone ain't crime. Bombshell. Speaking facts, you panic in time. No evidence, no breach, no bell, just me. And you? Still mad about it. I read the policy. I followed it. You just don't like that I did it louder than you. So sit your fat ass down before I drop another bombshell.
Oh yeah. So that was in response to them claiming that it was harassment by people posting things. And you have seen over the past how many 4 to 5 days we're going on now, the amount of bombshells been dropping, not only from Tug, but from Jeremy, Megan, Rosalind's dropping bombs. I mean, it's just one after the other, and all of these pieces are culminating into all that I can see is some silver bracelets coming for somebody. And I don't think that George has anything to worry about there. She seems to be doing good. Well, and I don't thank you, Elfie. I appreciate it. No, and people were asking me, well, what kind of bombshells do you have? I was like, well, I don't really have any bombshells. I mean, I read the documents as they come in, is pretty much the same as everybody else does, and give my take on what I see. I don't see that as being anything. You're welcome. You're welcome, Suzanne. Thanks for the smexy guys in this video. Yeah, most definitely. Just I get people that are just like, you don't have enough men in your videos. I was like, yeah, but women are so beautiful to look at. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm waiting for the Otter Creek album. Oh yeah, that will probably be coming next year. I've been working on well, thank you. Those are some nice pieces, and you can see the Lufamobile right up there hiding in the crook of that guitar. He's just hiding out there. Hint on number 5 is huge. Well, I mean, I would imagine that all of them are hitting them pretty hard. I've noticed that they've avoided so much of responding to anything that Tug said. He was just like, hey, if you don't believe that I have conversations with Lynette, well, then, put your money where your mouth is. And you saw that none of them would take him up on it, and they because why wouldn't they take him up on it? It would have been a perfect opportunity for them to say, yeah, Tug is not showing the information. He's got nothing. He's got absolutely nothing. Because I heard them saying there's no way that Lynette would have ever talked with them. Well, what was it? Marla Huge was saying that same thing. Oh, they'll never talk with Tug. Why would they ever do such a thing? I guess they didn't realize that they're their own worst enemy. Oh, I do plan on having one, and I hope that everyone also has a very Merry Christmas, because it is the holiday season, and of course, it looks like the court has been giving the gift that just keeps on giving over and over and over again. And what we have for you is a couple of little gifts. Now, this one came out about 5 days ago, and in case you haven't sort of kept up with what's going on with Lips and Chips, well, they got themselves in a little bit of a pickle, maybe a couple of pickles, maybe more than a couple, because now Seacoast is one of the petitioners that filed an action to foreclose on their property because they haven't paid their bills, and they haven't been paying their bills at all. And what it was is they filed a motion to have basically a countersuit, or an amended countersuit, to go after Seacoast. And they've sued ABC. They've sued people that have come to serve them these lawsuits and created new lawsuits. Now, in doing so, this one was filed with the court on the 15th, and it was an order granting plaintiffs Seacoast National Bank's motion to dismiss defendant's amended countercomplaint. Now, on November 6th of 2025, Seacoast motioned to dismiss defendant's amended countercomplaint, and the court hearing argument of counsel. Now, whenever you say, well, when did this happen? Well, this happened earlier in November. The court ordered to have a hearings motion where Lips and Chips, I believe, showed up, didn't say anything. And they've also had other hearings that they were supposed to show up and didn't didn't show up. But this one here basically said court grants Seacoast motion dismiss defendant's amended counter complaint in its entirety. This is an 88-page document. It is massive and just loaded up with garbage. Now, it'll say right here, 1, the amended countercomplaint refers to defendant's countercomplaint filed August 14th pursuant to the court's July 15th order granting plaintiff Seacoast National Bank's motion to dismiss defendant's class action complaint and countercomplaint, which allowed defendants 30 days to amend certain counts. And all that they did is, and Seacoast came back and said, listen, this is verbatim the same thing that they filed way back last year, and it's garbage. You've already thrown this out. And they came back and they just basically dismissed it with prejudice. Means don't file this again, ever. Like this is horribly written or whatever else it might be, but yeah, don't file this again. Now, also there was a count 1 for violation of the Florida Consumer Protection collection actions, which basically they were trying to collect their money by foreclosing on it, and their violation that they were claiming under 55.9.272 was dismissed also with prejudice. And then there was also tort claims for fraud or misrepresentation that was dismissed with prejudice, and count 2 of the torts claims for intentional infliction of emotional distress is also dismissed with prejudice. Now, these were files that came in a little bit later, but right here under section 2, it says counterplaintiffs misnumbered the counts. So they couldn't even file it properly. Now it does happen. And that's why the court noted this right here, that they misnumbered the count. They also dismissed count 3 of the tortious claims for fraudulent concealment, and that was also dismissed with prejudice. Now, count 1 of the contract-based actions for specific performance of the foreclosure, failing condition precedent, it was also dismissed with prejudice. Now, this right here, they also have a little sub thing down here. Counter plaintiffs misnumbered that count also. And it said that it sent this one out to every single person, and that one right there just puts another nail in the coffin of these anti-Hale's ecosystem little people, and it's more desperate scamming. BOS trying to flail and throw shite at the walls figures. Yeah, Lips is so brilliant. Now, why does this become really important with Lips and Chips? If you've got these two, now I don't know that this is the case, but it seems like Lips wanted to get very involved. I don't know about Chips. From what I've heard that he's involved, I don't know, because they seem to be working as a team, according to what was filed in Jeremy's lawsuit against them for filing these types of frivolous lawsuits. Now, Jeremy has another lawsuit also in Orange County that is going against Lips and Chips. Pretty sure that's right. I'd have to double check on that, but definitely for Lips. And Yamaha, it's the same link as always. You're always welcome to come in here. I will have an open letter if you want to get one in for the last of the year. It's entirely up to you. I completely understand if you can't. So people are asking, do you have an open letter? Yes, I have an open letter today. Yes, there will be one. And that might be the final one that you get this year, unless we read over the old ones later. Now, I will tell you that seeing that lawsuit and seeing the way that Orange County is handling all of their frivolous lawsuits, this is another big bombshell, you could say, that is just keeps hammering down that these people that are coming in and starting crap with Jeremy, where he had no idea who Lips was. But for some reason, she's got a hard on for Megan Fox. That's just trying to obliterate her, just going after every bit of whatever she can do to tear down Megan. Megan just said, well, we'll deal with this in court. I don't have time for your shenanigans. I'm not responding to your crap. And that's all it's been. It's just been her trying to attack. And I've noticed that from quite a few of these people, that they've been on the attack, quite a bit of it on the attack. And these aren't the only ones that they've gone after. They're going after Randy Shockett. They're going after Doreen. They're going after anybody that's, that's supporting Jeremy. You see him going after Tug. You see him going after Jay Hip. They're going after Georgie. They're going after Squid. They're going after whoever they can. They're going after Terrence, DJ Radis. I mean, it is like they are on full attack mode almost consistently every single chance that they get, and it's like, are you just really failing that bad that you're having to do these kinds of things? And the truth of it is yes, they are that bad. They are absolutely that bad. And that's where we get into the next big drop that came out. And this was done by none other than Paint Chips. He decided to go after, and he did it through one of his little proxy, bitch boys. It's one of these guys named you could call him some multiple things, but they're the same ones with Dinesh, that they started stirring up crap with him. Now, you don't have to agree with Dinesh. You don't have to even like the guy. I think he's a little bit bombastic and not my kind of style. And I don't like his political views, but it doesn't matter. If you're going after this guy, they ran a multiple lawsuits. They ran, what was it? Something like 20 or 30 John Doe and Jane Doe accounts going after him. And they tried this with Bolitho. This did not work. So in Fed Case 2, they tried this kind of crap that got them in all kinds of trouble with the judge. Now, this one here, as you can see, this is document 149. It is in the Fed Case 2. And the judge came back after reading this filing that they had, which was John Doe's motion for leave to intervene for the limited purpose of notifying the court of plaintiff's misconduct. Interesting now, isn't it? Now, no response is necessary for the reasons below. The motion is denied. So basically, they told Randy, you don't have to file a response to this. Now Randy would have gotten a copy of whatever it was that they tried to file, but this is the beginning of their campaign. They're just starting on their misbehavior. Now, there was something that was locked down by the court. Obviously, the court sealed the document immediately. So I've not seen the document, but the only people that would see it are people that know it was filed, that were copied on it, that created this filing. Those are the only people that would have had access to it before anybody was able to see it. And they like to get out there and talk about it and promote it and think that this has got some teeth to it. We don't know what all was in the document because we've only seen what the court responded to. Now, Randy might have a copy of it, but it doesn't matter. They've basically denied anything that was in there, and the court said this is not going to be shown. Now, what John Doe did was moved under federal Civil Rules of Procedure 24B for leave to intervene in this action to notify the court of alleged misconduct by plaintiffs. Doc 147 at 2. John Doe, and what it says, parties are typically not allowed to proceed anonymously in federal court, and the motion fails to argue why John Doe should be allowed to do so here. And it says Doe v. Frank. It also says lawsuits are public events. A party should be permitted to proceed anonymously only in those exceptional cases involving matters of a highly sensitive and personal nature, real danger of physical harm, or where the injury litigated against would be incurred as a result of the disclosure of the party's identity. The risk that a party may suffer some embarrassment is not enough. No, they have no embarrassment. They have no shame. These people, you have to remember, would show up at people's houses, harass their children, harass their family members, harass their coworkers. This is the behavior of these people. Do we know who this is? Yes, we do know who this is. Because they've bragged about it. See, missing Nil Star, we know exactly that this had to do with a person named Joey Camp and another person named Paint Chip. So we've have two people that have worked together multiple times before and gone after and attacked these people. One of them is awaiting extradition back to Belize. And the authorities in Belize are very interested in finding his location. But like all of these, they're cowards and they run and hide every chance they get until you've got nothing left. These are very, very, very violent and volatile people. If you're wondering who some of these people are, go look up Bully Hunter, and you will see he's pulled up quite a bit of that information. I may show some of that. These are not people to be trifled with. They are not people to be trifled with because they work in a pack. The guy from Bully Hunter has already started doing an expose on them, and they have threatened him. And I'll see if I can find that real quick for you, because it is right here. All right. And let me find it here real quick for you, because it is quite important that you understand who these people are and what they are all about, because they're not good people. Let's put it that way. And I'll have to find it real quick. And I think I have it right in here. Is that it? There we go. That's not it. And I will find it here for you. It's Dr. James McGibney is what his name is, and he has a website. Give me just a second. I will find it. Give me a second. It takes me a little bit to find some of these things because I have it in a very, very particular place, and now I can't seem to find where I put it. It is, where is, crazy. I thought I had this all up, and apparently I don't. I thought I had it up here, but no, it is in a different place altogether. And I will find it for you though. Do 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 do. All right, here we go. I will show this to you. Oh, we're like 400 likes behind. Well, you guys will catch up. I'm positive. I have faith in you. Let me go ahead and do that and remove that. And I will share this screen right here. So this here is Bully Hunter's website. Now they had a very, very interesting bit of information on this. Let me reset that. And what they were talking about is they have different episodes on this. And then there was also something that they did on Netflix. There was also one right here, shuts down Is Anyone Up, which was basically using some really, really bad stuff here. They've done quite a bit of this from another one called Bullyville, and then we've got this right here, which was the Bully Hunter. They're taking on all platforms, very much into looking into all of this. Then there's also this one right here, which was a Telegram takedown. So you've got Paint Chip, You've got this other person. I don't know who that is, but this person right here is the one that wrote it. This person called Joey Jojo Camp. Now, if you don't know who that is, Joseph Camp, convicted felon, Richard Luthman, Ty Jackson, Courtney Cardozo have been very busy. They have been utilizing Telegram to plot, scheme, and attempt to destroy any of their perceived enemies. What they did not realize, their Telegram group was public-facing. Once this was discovered, James McGibney, the founder of Bullyville, the host of Bully Hunter on A&E, immediately contacted the FBI. They have had access to the link for quite some time. Simultaneously, multiple law firms began forensically catalog every single post that they made within the group. It is most certainly going to hold up in a court of law. It is also my understanding that the subpoena was already issued. The plan was to keep letting this group of e-thugs self-incriminate. However, they started to plot some plans that were considered dangerous and that would put innocent people in danger. The decision was made to go public with this information so potential victims would be able to respond accordingly. It's no surprise that the convicted felons Joseph Camp and Richard Luthman, both were previously arrested by the FBI, would be this malicious. Same holds true with Ty Jackson. But Courtney Cardozo was a bit of a surprise. The fully authenticated Telegram posts speak volumes. She truly is pure evil. Within one of her videos stated that she wasn't sure if convicted felon Joseph Camp even exists. She clearly knows who he is, and he had hundreds of interactions with him. For the record, countless children, Camp's victims, most who have permanent restraining orders against him, would disagree with her statement. She really is an evil woman, just pure evil. Courtney claims she would never find her other accounts. We found them in about 5 minutes, including her Telegram account. Quite honestly, if Courtney was just stuck to making a bunch of rambling, incoherent videos, bashing episode 1 of Bully Hunter, law enforcement wouldn't have cared. And neither would I. Hell, she probably was the reason why more streams came our way. So for that, thank you, superfan. But for the moment, she decided to team up with convicted felons Joseph Camp, Richard Luthman, and consciously made that her decision, and now here come the consequences. So they have all of their Instagram posts, fully authenticated Telegram chats, but chats between these e-thugs. The amount of things that they're doing, as you can see right here, pretty damning stuff. If you think about it, they're going in here. Wonder when McGibney exposes me, he will bring up the time I stole the Blue-Haired Feminist podcast or releasing episodes on Spotify, because that could be really damaging to my image. Or the time I accused a deaf DJ who was a stalker of being a fake deaf person, then I was harassed by the deaf community on TikTok. Now, of course, Paint Chip says the fact that you were attacked by an angry mob of deaf people is amusing. Like I said, these people work in groups. They work in groups, and they're constantly going after anybody that they perceive to be one of their enemies. So do we know who this is? Yes, we know exactly who this is. These are not people to be, like I said, to be trifled with. They are to be taken serious whenever they start making these kinds of threats that they have made to Jeremy, that they've made to Megan Fox, that they've made to Tuck. You have to take them seriously. Very, very seriously. And that's why most, if not all, everybody has been making sure that they're well, let's put it this way, well protected. Our doorbells ring twice. And then reload, of course. But that, and we'll get back to these people after a bit. But like I said, we know who they are. We know their behavior, and it's just a matter of time before they take it that one step that's going to be way too far, that they're not going to be able to back away from. Now, does that answer your question? I hope it does. And at some point, like I said, we'll get back to that. Maybe today. You need to look at 2L and BB. Oh yeah. They're part of that. They're part of that group, whether they like it or not. They have crossed over the line way too many times. Now again, John Doe moves, which would be the Joey Camp character, for leave to intervene in this action to notify the court of alleged misconduct by plaintiffs. John Doe states that permissive intervention is necessary because the alleged misconduct relates to plaintiffs' representations and evidence. And he says there will be no undue delay or prejudice, and the interests of justice weigh in favor of intervention. The court disagrees. A district court may permit anyone to intervene who has a claim or defense that shares with the main action a common question of law or fact. Generally, permissive intervention under Rule 24b is appropriate where the party's claim or defense in the main action have questions of law or fact in common, and the intervention will not unduly prejudice or delay the adjudication of the rights of the original parties. However, it is wholly discretionary with the court whether to allow intervention under Rule 24b, and even though there is a common question of law or fact, the requirements of Rule 24b are otherwise satisfied, the court may refuse or to allow intervention. The present motion for permissive intervention is without merit because it identifies no claims or defenses held by John Doe that have common questions of law or fact with the claims at issue in the case. The court may permit anyone to intervene who has a claim or defense. Indeed, the motion expressly states that John Doe does not seek to become a full party to this case or assert any claims or defenses. Because the motion fails to identify any claims or defenses held by John Doe, it is inherent that it fails to be accompanied by a pleading that sets out the claim or defense for which intervention is sought. Therefore, John Doe's motion is due to be denied. Even if the motion satisfied Rule 24's requirements for permissive intervention, the court would exercise its discretion to deny intervention here. And it states that, they have the ability to do that. Now, as noted above, John Doe identifies no claims or defenses related to this action. There is nothing in this motion to suggest that John Doe has any interest in this case aside from being one of many online spectators watching its progression. In fact, the motion acknowledges as such, stating that the movement is a spectator with no direct interest in the outcome of the litigation. Which is why it's also being denied. The parties with legal interests here are the plaintiffs and defendants, not every online spectator. Thus, the motion is also denied in an exercise of the court's discretion. Accordingly, it is ordered that John Doe's motion for leave to intervene for the limited purpose of notifying this court of plaintiff's misconduct, Doc 147, is denied. And it says the court need not ignore the realities of this case in denying the motion. If an unnamed John Doe were allowed to intervene, it is inevitable that other online spectators would attempt to do the same thing. The court will not allow its docket to be bogged down with countless filings by various unnamed individuals with no legal interest in this case. And there's a reason why they wanted to do it as John Doe, because they wanted to basically start harassing the court. If the court would have allowed this, you would have seen multiple filings that would bear no relevance to this case whatsoever. So kudos to Judge Bolitho for shutting this kind of behavior down pretty damn quickly. Now, federal courts have both inherent power and constitutional obligation to protect their jurisdiction from conduct which impairs their ability to carry out Article III functions, and have a responsibility to prevent single litigants from unnecessarily encroaching on judicial machinery needed by others. So, in other words, stop wasting our time. That was the judge signaling that he's not tolerating their shenanigans, which is really good to see. So, and like I said, we'll get back to the bully hunter stuff. We've covered this before on here, but I think it needs to be pointed out that their behavior is only going to grow, and you're going to see more of this throughout these cases, most likely over the next year. And you need to be aware of what you're looking at and who these players are. Grandma Joe, do you make molasses to make your popcorn? Sounds good. All right. So what we have here, and we'll get back to this right here, was there's two exhibits that were put in here, and these two exhibits were put in. This is in the thumbnail case. As you can see, you've got Jeremy, George, Larry, and DJ Radis in the thumbnail case. Now, what these are is more proof of the misbehavior of Ducey. And we've got this right here that shows in the circuit court of the 8th Judicial Circuit. Now, the judge is making an order granting the motion to strike Duce's misbehavior. Now, that also doesn't come without consequences. There's going to be some pretty harsh consequences that are coming to Duce. To what extent, I don't know. And I'm sure that those are going to be some of the bombshells that come out over the next week. I mean, I'm not absolutely positive, but it sounds to me like that's part of what is going to be dropping on these people. Because it sounds like from what Jeremy has been able to provide to the audience, you guys, followers, people that are interested in this, be able to provide that this has been forwarded on to, I believe, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Florida State Bar is also looking at this. And whenever you start combining those all up, it does not look good for Duce. The amount of slapdown that he's going to get on this just depends on how these courts find him. Now, what they said here is there was an order granting motion to strike unauthorized communications and for sanctions of unauthorized practice of law. This cause came before the court on December 17th, 2025, upon defendant Jeremy Hale's motion to strike unauthorized communications and for sanctions of unauthorized practice of law. And the court, hearing argument of counsel and being fully advised on the premises, it is hereby ordered and adjudged as follows. Defendant's motion is absolutely, positively, no beating around the bush, but it is going to tell you that it is granted. Oh, yeah. A little win here and there is always good. The court finds that Duce is not licensed to practice in Florida and has not been admitted pro hoc vice in this matter. The court further finds that Duce is engaged in communications with the court and parties in this case, including emails dated October 6th, 2025, October 7th, 2025, and October 9th, 2025, which constitute the unauthorized practice of law, a third-degree felony per Florida Statute 454.23, referable for prosecution to the Florida Supreme Court. All communications, not just some of them, but all communication, including his emails and any legal documents set or prepared by Duce in this case, are hereby stricken from the record. This is not going to bode well in Fed 1. This is not going to bode well in Fed 2. This isn't going to bode well in his lawsuit against DUI guy. This isn't going to bode well for his lawsuit in Connecticut against another attorney. What do you think the far-reaching outcome of all of his behavior right here has all across every single bit of the cases that he has filed against people? What do you think those far-reaching consequences are going to be? Showing that he has multiple issues, multiple counts of misbehavior. It's not just one or two. The legal documents center prepared by Duce in this case are hereby stricken from the record. Ducey is hereby admonished for engaging in the unauthorized practice of law in Florida without proper admission to the Florida bar or pro hoc vice admission in this case. Now, Ducey is hereby enjoined from further communications with the court. until properly admitted pro hoc vice pursuant to Rule 1.2 of the Florida Rules of General Practice and Judicial Administration, or association with Florida counsel who actively participates in this matter. Don't make Donna Shepard steal Shizzy's nuts for the hitting of the like button. Yeah, that's right. Hit that like button. And judicial administration associated with Florida counsel who actively participates in the matter. Now, also, plaintiff Lynette is hereby ordered to identify to the court all parties, the name of anyone not licensed to practice law in Florida, and has not been admitted pro hoc vice in this court, who gives legal advice to her in matters before the court. Who gives legal advice to her in matters before the court or drafts paperwork on her behalf, which is then submitted to this court in the future. Now, this is really damn important. If you look closely at this, it says who gives advice to her in matters before the court or drafts paperwork on her behalf, which is then submitted to this court. Not just now, but also in the future. So much for the fleas, because they're going to be named in this also, because they were bragging about writing filings for her. How do you think this affects Fed Case 2? How do you think this is going to affect the little bone crusher there? Huh? How do you think that's going to affect all of these people? That they thought they were so wise and so smooth, that Paint Chips has been writing things, that you've got Ducey that's been writing things. You've got all of these people that have been bragging about all of the court filings that they've been writing. What do you think this does to them and their little narrative, thinking that they were being all slick? What do you think? How do you think Bone Crusher feels about this one now? I mean, you know, they thought it was all smooth and funny, like the day after his wife passes, to have him on there just so they could attack Jeremy some more. And now he's starting to cry. He's starting to go, oh, woe is me. I'm a 70-year-old man. And, well, you should have thought about that before you hitched your ride to a bunch of people that are misbehaving. Who you going to blame to? Who you going to blame now, Bone Crusher? Because it's all on your head. Your behavior is all on your head. Lips, all your behavior is on your head. All the bad stuff that you've done is starting to come out. Saying that there is something wrong with the courts. Well, you can scream that from the rooftops all you want, but whenever you're in a court, you need to abide by the rules. And there's rules that are put in place. There's a reason why attorneys are there. You've got Lips that is, no, she is a permanently retired without the ability of getting her law license back in the state of Florida without reapplying. So she's permanently retired. Like she will not be able to do anything. Now, that doesn't mean that she isn't writing filings and pleadings, and Lynette needs to turn that over. If she doesn't, and they find out that she's done any of this, guess what? Then it becomes even more criminal conduct that gets brought out. We've been warning them about all of this in the first place. There is numerous people that have said, Lips, stop what you're doing. You know, you're only getting part of this story. They wanted to have some sort of debate. I'm not doing the work for them. They had every opportunity to go back to the very beginning, watch the depositions, watch all of the hearings. They've been out for quite some time. All of that stuff, you could have gone to Jeremy's channel. You could have pulled up. You could have seen all of the ex parte communications that happened with Judge Grudge. You could have gone back and pulled up every single one of the hearings that they had with Judge Grudge. You could have gone back and saw where Lynette dismissed the case with Judge Davis. You could have gone back and seen every single bit of this, no different than anybody else did. But yet you decided that you wanted to go on the attack of Jeremy. You wanted to call him a stalker. You wanted to call him evil. You wanted to call him horrible. You wanted to go and attack his business. You wanted to interfere with his businesses. But instead of doing your own homework, you just came out on the attack of other people and then doubled down by starting to dox them and then double down on that and start to harass them even more, making revenge porn. All of this kind of crap that you've done is coming back to bite you in the ass. You were warned over a year ago. Stop. Just stop. But they don't do it. And now it's coming, all of that is coming around full circle, and the dog ain't going to play. He's going to come back and bite you in the ass because of your misbehavior. And I don't feel bad for you. I would have felt bad for you if you would have backed off and Jeremy would have continued attacking. But you have to understand that he didn't start the fight. This goes much deeper than any of these people tend to want to even recognize. It wasn't like Deuce came out of nowhere. Deuce was hitting up people, coming after them, trying to get them to cover some stupid macaroni and cheese story that nobody was interested in. Then, because they said, no, we're not going to have you on here because your story is absolutely interesting and from all that I can see, you're wrong in your behavior. And I'm not going to entertain it. And so he went on the attack of these people. I mean, it is very, very salty behavior. Didn't like that I turned him down and said no, because I don't believe that you're right. But you're not seeing all sides of the story. Well, I'll tell you what, start yourself your own little YouTube channel or whatever it is that you need to do, and you talk about it. You point out where everybody is wrong. Go ahead. And whenever you get debunked, don't come back crying at me. But that's what's been happening. They've gotten their asses debunked on every which way that they've stood. Hell, the flea can't even keep her lies straight. She'll change her story 10 times within the same damn, conversation. It's about time BBB was dealt with, a coward that hadn't the guts to turn up to anything. Well, I did make puppy treats so the shadow can have some. That's nice. Hey, screenshot this. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I didn't have room enough to tell you all the fantastic people. I wish you a safe and blessed, wonderful Christmas to all of you caring, loving, compassionate friends I have met over the internet. Love you all. Thank you very much, Debbie Baker. We appreciate having you around. We hope that you keep in touch because we enjoy you. Grandma Joe, you're right. I can't wrap my mind around they have made this far in life. No, this is a learned behavior that they've done multiple times over again. And I also wanted to make sure that I hit this one where Roy says, Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas to you and happy holidays, Roy. And also Pickle Tink has been here for 4 months. Good afternoon, Shizzy and chat. And yes, super chats are always welcome, but not necessary. You'll get the same thing whether you do or not. We do appreciate it, though. It does keep this channel's doors open. Thank you for the Smexy guys in this video, most definitely. And Shari Worthington that says, hope you have a great vacation and a very Merry Christmas. Yes, it'll be a much needed time off and let my brain recalibrate. Love your videos. Well, there will always be more coming out. We'll have more that's next year that'll be coming out also. And also love this song. Yes, that was a very good song. And I saw that there was also In the Clouds, which gifted 5 Shizzy Wisnut memberships, and we got Debbie Baker's early, but let's go ahead and get In the Clouds. Thank you so much, and most definitely.
Welcome to the shit show.
Every single day, a new flavor of fuckery, 'cause everybody sucks, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of rocks. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, baller, dash, pop, doc, monologues, and fuggery. Ah, yes. I love it. I love it. Oh, yes. I'm catching up. Make sure to catch up on all of the super chat and all of you most wonderful people. Grandma Joe says, my favorite song. So let's look at a little bit of what Deuce was filing here. And this actually comes from Randy. It has his whole email address there, and I've tried to go through and do this. Also, it's CC the distribution, which includes Candace Thomas, Lynette Preston, multiple times, because, you know, as you can see, you've got 1, 2, 3 email addresses there for her. And what it was is stating, Ms. Thomas, pursuing the court's instructions yesterday, please see the attached draft order for Judge Graves' review. There is a second draft order coming, as there were 2 motions resolved yesterday. Ms. Ankles will be providing this draft order later this afternoon. And I believe I want to make sure that I have this right. 18th, and then on the 19th, that was the 15th, please see attached memorandum of law that was previously filed. So this shows that the judge is doing everything on the up and up. These are the emails that they sent out to the judge to get these in. This right here is what was filed according to them, which would have been Stark. Now, whenever this was filed, there was a complaint for injunction damages under Florida statute 540.08. And as you can see, it was Lynette that through her undersigned attorney files this complaint for injunction damages under this Florida statute, stating that she's a resident, that Jeremy is a resident of Ohio, that George is a resident of Florida, that Larry is a resident of Kentucky, and that DJ Raz is a resident in the state of Ohio, which he's not. He's actually in Australia. Now, there was a count 1. There was all of this other crap that came in, and just basically talking about the images being used. This was brought forward by Stark. Every single bit of this that you see was supposedly written by Stark. Supposedly. And as you can see, if it wasn't written by Stark, the name that's down here, it shows that they served them by process server, and it's signed off by Scott Stark. And then we go on right here. There was a motion for sanctions. Now, this one would have been filed by Randy. And this particular case, extradition to the court, and it shows there was a motion for sanctions under 24.827, safe harbor letter to Stark 557.105, the letter 2024-827. He says right here, via email to Stark, dear counsel. Let's say counsel, sorry. Pursuant to the safe harbor provision contained within Florida Statute 57.105, please find our enclosed 827 motion for sanctions, which we intend to file under the expiration of 21 days from the date of service hereof. We urge you and your client to take corrective action as stated in the attached motion. If this is not done prior to the expiration of 21 days, we will file this for a motion for sanctions. And basically, this is giving them a warning, a very specific warning saying, listen, we're giving you the opportunity to back out of this lawsuit. I've only had to write this. If you pursue this past the 21 days and you haven't withdrawn your lawsuit, then we will file. We will file this. This is your warning. This is your get out of jail free card. All that you'll end up having to pay is your filing fees. And those are not going to come back to you because basically you're you've got nothing here on this case, and we're more than happy to, abide by what the court says. You got 21 days to do it. Scott Stark did not. Scott Stark did not remove that filing within 21 days. So this was filed. This right here was a motion for sanctions pursuant to Florida Statute 57.105. Defendant Jeremy Hales, by and through his undersigned counsel and pursuant to 57.105 Florida statutes, hereby moves the court to impose sanctions against Lynette, counsel, against Preston and Preston's counsel, jointly and severely based on the following. Preston filed a complaint which alleges a violation of Florida Statute 540.08 for unauthorized use of plaintiff's name and likeness in and of his YouTube channel by publishing Miss Preston's picture on video thumbnails without her consent and by publishing and using her name and image in videos without her consent. If you're a public person, which she is, that does not fly. Hey, how you doing, Donna Shepard? Had to care of life duties, but that's all right. Preston then alleges that as a result of Hale's publication and the use of Miss Preston's picture and the name without her consent, now Lynette has sustained loss and injury. A copy of the complaint was attached as Exhibit 1. We saw that above. Under Florida law, and allegations and claims made in the complaint are utterly frivolous and without merit. See Acosta v. Spanish Rod. Copy being attached as Exhibit 2. Accordingly, the complaint is frivolous and completely without merit under Florida law, and thus Preston and her legal counsel should be sanctioned pursuant to 57.105 Florida statute because Preston and her counsel knew or should have known that the frivolous claims asserted and alleged in the complaint are not supported by the material facts necessary to establish such claims, or 2, not supported by an application of then existing law to those material facts, as the pending abuse of process claim is absolutely barred by Florida's litigation privilege. It also says in this statute that authorizes the courts to award sanctions against parties who can raise claims and defenses not supported by the material facts necessary to establish the claim or defense, or would not be supported by the application of then existing law to those material facts. And it gives the citations here upon the initiative, reward reasonable attorney fees, including prejudgment interest to be paid to the prevailing party in equal amounts by the losing party and the losing party's attorney. Now you say, well, how can they get any money from Stark if he is deceased? It goes against his estate. So what will happen in this situation is it is going to be split down the middle. The amount of sanctions is going to be split down the middle, reasonable attorney fees being part of that. That's going to be split down the middle. Lynette has to pay half. Stark has to pay the other half. And you have to remember that the judge has already ruled on this. He is saying absolutely these will be taken care of. Now, those fees will be determined at a later point in time. They may be able to collect off of Scott Stark's estate immediately, but I don't know. I don't know how the law works there, so don't quote me on that. But this right here is showing you exactly how that split is going to happen. So whether it's $5 or $1 million, it's going to be split down the middle. One person's going to have to pay half. The other person is going to have to pay the other half. Ooh, this is not a position they want to be in. To be paid to the prevailing party equal amounts by the losing party and the losing party's attorney on any claim or defense at any time during civil procedure or action which the court finds the losing party or the losing party's attorney knew or should have known that a claim or defense when initially presented to the court or at any time before the trial, A, was not supported by the material facts necessary to establish the claim or defense, or B, would not be supportive by the application of then existing law to those material facts. And 3, notwithstanding subsections 1 and 2, monetary sections may not be awarded under paragraph 1B against represented parties. Emphasis on, give me a second, I'm going to go to the bottom of the neck. In original, appellates argue that their motion was filed under subsection 1B, asserting the action was not supported by law. The applicable version to the statute makes it clear that sanctions cannot be awarded against a represented party for such a claim. Pursuant to subsection 3C of the statute, we agree with the argument, provides that the provisions of statute 57105 are supplemental to other sanctions or remedies that are available under law, under court rules. Oh, thank you again for the 5 gifted memberships, Debbie Baker. I appreciate you so much. And we will get that song a little bit later on. Thank you. Thank you very much. So it does also move on here. They made it crystal clear that the proper application of section 57105 statutes and the standard for granting fees also has changed. Previously, the movement had to show a complete absence of I'm not even going to try to say that word. I think that's just a misspell. Issue of either law or fact raised by the losing party. Under that revised version, however, a movement need only show that the party and counsel knew or should have known that any claims or defense asserted was A, not supported by the facts, or B, not supported by an application of then existing law. The amendments therefore greatly expand the statute's potential use. Now, the first district court stated the word shall, as used in 57, expressly shows the legislature's intent to impose a mandatory penalty in the form of reasonable attorney fees to discourage baseless claims. By placing a price tag on losing parties who engage in such frivolous activities, the use of word shall in the section has been found evidence against the legislative intention to impose mandatory penalty in the form of reasonable attorney fees, to discourage baseless claims, stonewall defenses, and sham appeals. Yes, congratulations to members. So what they're saying here is the reason Florida made this ruling, and they made it very clear that there would be sanctions if you did not abide by the rules that we have here. Now, in determining whether a party is entitled to statutory attorney's fees under the statute, frivolous is determined when the claim or defense was initially filed. If the claim or defense is not initially frivolous, the court must then determine whether the claim or defenses became frivolous after the suit was filed. So what they're saying is the claims could have been valid, or whether they became invalid because they didn't have any proof to what their validity was. For example, if there was never actually any thumbnails, like if they would have provided good case law and it would have won on that, whether later on they determined, well, actually those weren't thumbnails, those weren't even pictures, and those weren't even them, then it could be considered frivolous. Make sense? Okay. In doing so, the court determines that the party or its counsel knew or should have known that the claim or defense asserted was not supported by the facts or an application of existing law. Indeed, Florida Statute 57105 merely requires a trial court's determination of the offending party either knew or should have known that the claim is being challenged was not supported by material facts. A claim is not supported by the material facts within the meaning of the statute authorizing award of attorney's fees as a sanction for raising those claims. Therefore, in his legal right, Jeremy Hale served but did not yet file a motion for sanctions pursuant to 57 Florida statutes. Preston and her counsel had 21 days to take corrective action and withdraw the unsupported complaint. Unfortunately, her and her counsel failed to take advantage of the 21-day safe harbor afforded, and they pursued the action without pause. Accordingly, Jeremy Hales moves for sanctions against Preston and her counsel. And they also respectfully request that the Honorable Court enter an order granting this motion, ruling that Preston and her attorney and counsel knew or should have known that the claims asserted against Jeremy herein are baseless, without merit under Florida law, and thus untenable and patently frivolous, imposing sanctions against Preston and or her counsel jointly and severally. Severally, sorry. Bad language, bad grammar. And that they actually serve this all out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you just a really cool little tune that I put together not too long ago. And give me just a second, because I think it's pretty darn awesome. And I believe it's on this album. It is nope, that is the wrong album, because I have multiple albums. Yeah, and I think this is pretty much one of the I think this hits it pretty well. I think that it really does. Let me double check and make sure I've got the right one. And it's this one right here. Yes. Haha. It's been a while since I've played this for you guys. Enjoy the tune and tell me what you think.
Here comes Bubbles, scam a lot, he's suave and smooth so fake, so sharp, they'll make you bleed your money, he'll just take. Shady deals in smoky rooms, he whispers lies with flair, sign your name on dotted lines, but he leaves you in despair. He smiles with teeth just like a shark, he'll hunt you down with glee. Clients end up high and dry while he rakes in his fee. In courtrooms, he's a charmer with a golden tongue finesse, but turn your back for just a sec, he'll leave your life a mess. Hey, Bubbles, scam a lot, you twist the truth and scheme. You sell us dreams of paradise, but it's all just a meme. Hey, Bubbles, scam a lot, your pockets lined with gold, but somewhere deep inside your heart is icy cold. He's got the judges in his grip, the jury on a string, whispers promises of freedom, but hands you misery. Predictable as sunrise, his face the devil's map. In his office lies a coffin where your hopes take a nap. So if you see him coming, best run the other way. Bubble scam a lot will ruin you by end of day. With every charm and every smile, remember it's a con. The game's set up, he'll cash you out when all your hope is gone. Hey, Bubbles, scam a lot, you twist the truth and scheme. You sell us dreams of paradise, but it's all just a meme. Hey, Bubbles, scam a lot, your pockets lined with gold, but somewhere deep inside your heart is icy cold. Hey, Bubbles, scam a lot, you twist the truth and scheme. You sell us dreams of paradise, but it's all just a meme. Hey, Bubbles, scam a lot, your pockets lined with gold, but somewhere deep inside your heart. Got the judges in his grip, the jury on a string, whispers promises of freedom, but hands you misery. Predictable as sunrise, his face the devil's map. In his office lies a coffin where your hopes take a nap. So if you see him coming, best run the other way. Bubble scam a lot will ruin you by end of day. With every charm and every smile, remember it's a con. The game's set up, he'll cash you out when all your hope is gone.
Oh yeah, that one right there was one of my old ones. Man, oh man. So we've got a couple of new ones that came in right here. That was Debbie Baker, gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much. And let's hit it again.
Welcome to the
All you
ship
5
show.
new members, not just you 5, but also 10 gifted memberships. And thank you very much, Debbie Baker. That is so kind of you. Bigger than a bag of rocks. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, balder, dash, poppycock, balls, and fuckery. Live it all over again. And Hurricane Von Hurricane says, you going to cover Jeremy's lawsuit against the prosecutor getting laughed out of court. Judge basically called Jeremy a crybaby. It's a bombshell. No, actually, it's not much of a bombshell at all, Hurricane, but thank you very much for the $5 super chat. And also, we've got a member for 1 month. Thank you very much, Patty and the Smokes. No, Hurricane Von Hurricane. Yes, I will be covering that also because that was tossed out of court. The judge didn't find any that Jeremy had proved that there were claims that could be stated upon, and he basically dropped it, which means that now Jeremy can pursue it in appeals court, which he said already from the beginning that's going to be happening, that's going to be filed in appeals court, that he'll come back. And you will probably see a filing within, I believe, 30 days or something like that. He'll file his appeal. He'll have that in there. And then he's going to say, hey, this is exactly what happened. And they'll deal with it from there. So you'll just have to wait to see what the appeals court says about this, because that one there is going to be highly contested. Don't know if he's going to win that or not. I mean, we'll just have to see, won't we? But yeah, that'll be more of the coverage I have. But of course, in this beautiful, beautiful day that we've had going about, we did manage to come up with a nice open letter for you guys, and I promise you that you'd get one. And then we're going to go into the kind of dirty underwear stains that these people are, and I hope you guys are ready for just a little bit of fun. So let's get down to it and give you a nice Christmas letter.
It is about time. Let's break this mother down. With Shizzy, Whiz, Nut.
An open letter bombshell to the wannabe lawyers and the fats. Deuce, you didn't just step in it. You built a whole swimming pool of stupidity and cannonballed right into it. Let's quit the charade that this court order was some minor mix-up, a little oopsie-daisy caused by overzealous haters with too much time and bad cholesterol. No, this was a full-on judicial smackdown, delivered with the precision of a surgeon wielding a chainsaw. A real judge sat down, reviewed the evidence, followed the trail of your slimy little fingerprints all over those emails, and declared in black and white legalese, nope, this shit show ends now. And it wasn't based on feelings, rumors, or some salty Reddit thread. It was hard facts. Your name, your actions, your unauthorized meddling in a Florida courtroom where you have about as much right to practice law as I have to perform surgery with my crayon collection, because you weren't targeted by some vast conspiracy, BBB. No, you were exposed like a bad magician whose tricks everyone saw coming. The court didn't speculate or play guessing games. It named you outright. Deuce, the out-of-state busybody who's not licensed in Florida, not admitted pro hoc vice, not even pretending to follow the rules. What were you doing? Not helping a friend or offering friendly advice. Nah, you were straight up practicing law. Emailing strategies, drafting filings behind the scenes, coordinated like you were running a bootleg law firm out of your Gmail inbox. The judge called it what it was, a third-degree felony. That's not a slap on the wrist. That's a referral to Florida Supreme Court for prosecution. And here I am, the guy who can't tie his shoes without assistance, and I'm just shaking my head at how you thought you could waltz into another state's legal system like it was an open mic for amateurs. But the real gut punch? Court didn't just wag a finger and say, "Bad boy." It obliterated your handiwork. Stricken from the record. Poof. Gone. Those oh-so-clever emails, the ones you played puppet master, whispering, "File this, strike that, argue this point," treated like radioactive waste and dumped. All your stealthy steering, your proxy lawyering, your "I'm just emailing, not practicing" delusions, erased as if they never existed. The judge didn't debate you. He performed an exorcism on your entire operation. Imagine spending months building your little email fortress only for the court order to come along and bulldoze it flat. Well, that's not drama, Deuce. That's demolition. Me? I'm over here in my Velcro shoed glory, giggling, because even I know better than to email bomb a courthouse without a license. Anti-Hales, you poor, deluded cheer squad. This is where your whole fairy tale crumbles like the sandcastle at high tide. You've been strutting around for months, convinced that your righteous cause trumps every rule in the book. The system is rigged. The haters are out to get us. We're fighting the good fight. Well, spare me. Courts don't give a damn about your sob stories or your victim complex. They care about process, procedure, and not letting unlicensed yahoos turn litigation into a free-for-all. You thought you were clever. Running this whisper network, coordinating filings via black channel emails, pretending to be pro se while syncing up like a bad spy novel. We're not lawyers, we're just enthusiastic supporters. Well, yeah, right. What you actually created was a massive paper trail of procedural poison, and now it's come back to bite you harder in the ass than a rabid raccoon. That injunction, that's a gag order that you never saw coming. No more communications with the courts or parties unless you're properly admitted or supervised by actual Florida counsel. The kind who shows up in person, owns their work, and doesn't hide behind a screen name. Gmail isn't a loophole, dumbasses. It's a secret portal to the judiciary. It's an email. And the court just slammed the door shut with that resounding thud. Silence enforced. No more sneaking notes under the table, no more proxy plays. That's the sound of your oxygen supply getting severed, your little empire gasping for air. And if that wasn't brutal enough, the disclosure order is the real trapdoor. From now on, the plaintiff has to spill the beans. Who's really drafting these filings? Who's whispering the legal advice? No more ghostwriters. No more, "I swear I did all this by myself." Well, that's bullshit. The judge flipped the floodlights and demanded names, dates, and details, Lynette. Step out of line again. It's not just about unauthorized emails. It's about lying to the court, perjury territory. And that's not a gentle nudge. That's a bear trap baited with your own hubris. This isn't some isolated oops moment either. The bombshell ripples out like a shockwave through every tangled mess in your legal ecosystem. Every other case that you've touched, every damn one of those lawsuits, the dockets, the sanctions, the bankruptcies, the endless filing, now reeks of your vile, foul stench. Judges talk, clerks read. Opposing counsel will be salivating over this, so the next time your name pops up in a filing, they'll attach this order like Exhibit A. See? This guy's a repeat offender in procedural abuse. Credibility doesn't just take a hit. It's going to shatter into a million pieces, spider-webbing across every courtroom that you dare enter. And you can't unring this bell, Deuce, because you've poisoned your own well, and every sip now will taste like failure. You all love painting yourselves as the plucky underdogs, victims of harassment from the big bad internet meanies. Well, let's call it what it really was, a hubris factory on steroids. You churned out this belief that sheer volume, endless emails, repetitive filings, coordinated chaos could bully the system into submission. That bluster could bypass bars. The court didn't bother arguing, it just rejected the whole premise and stamped it into the record for all eternity. You weren't innovating, you weren't infringing, you were infringing. You weren't strategizing, you were stumbling. And now the legal system has spoken. Your method, the email coaching, the shadow lawyering, the where pros say but magically in sync routine, well, it's not clever. It's not protected. It's not even remotely tolerated. It's trash. And the court just took out the garbage. So no, BBB, this isn't a bad day or a setback. This is a catastrophic collapse. The kind where your entire house of cards folds under its own weight. Boy, you wanted the spotlight, and you got it, shining right on your illegal antics. You wanted to be taken seriously? Well, mission is accomplished. You're not just as a hero. You are the evil, vile creature that we always assumed you were. You are the example of future bar ethics classes. Don't be a deuce. And as for me, the crayon-munching moron in the helmet, well, I'm just here licking the courthouse window, watching the fallout, and wondering how someone with your smarts didn't see this coming from a mile away. Signed, Shizzy Wiznut, former helmet owner, retired, by the way, with honors, Velcro shoes, secured, still licking the courthouse window, but at least I'm not trying to practice law through a looking glass. And most definitely, your daddy.
It is about time. Let's break this mother down. With Shizzy, Wiz, Nut.
Well, and this is what I told you I was going to show. Give me just a second. Make sure I've got it up here. So this, and like I said, not all wins are going to be a win until you start seeing the bigger picture of things. And of course, as I said, there was an order granting to dismiss, and this is in the lawsuit that Jeremy put up all the way up against, Rex Owens. And the plaintiffs are Ohio residents who obtained orders from an Ohio court relating to their dispute with two non-parties. Plaintiffs sued Daniel Rex Owen, a state official employed by the state of Florida, who they say violated their rights by not enforcing those protection orders. Owen moved to dismiss, and order grants his motion. Plaintiffs have not stated any claim, and to survive a motion to dismiss, a complaint must contain sufficient factual matter, but it did, which was quite a bit of factual matter that they were acting as investigators, and this is why it'll go up to the Court of Appeals because of this. To survive a motion to dismiss must state a relief that is plausible on its face, which it was very plausible on its face by actually investigating and not doing their diligence. Then this right here is what they kicked it out for. Just saying, no, you can't hold him liable for his misbehavior. And I would imagine, I don't know this for a fact, but I would imagine that because of Rex's filings here, that this is going to end up, because of the way that he responded in his pleading, which was pretty bad. He basically threw Levy County under the bus, saying that it was their fault for not doing it, which means that sort of opens it up where they can go after Levy County now. I don't know if they will, but one would hope that they would, because the way Rex framed it is basically saying that Levy County's at fault. Levy County Sheriff's Department's at fault for not following through. Good job, Rex. That means that you just threw Levy County right under the bus with your response, saying, "Oh, they were supposed to, but they didn't do it." So what do you think happens there? So you're advocating violence and bullying over following a civil procedure. We're only disseminating the case. Your counterpoint is noted. What is hurricane raising things? Go read up on the different kinds of cases where police and prosecutors get sued. No. You need to behave, okay? If you don't behave, hurricane, I will time you out. So just behave. Hurricane, did you eat paint chips? Oh, no, hurricane more than likely is paint chips. Most likely. Or one of those kinds of people. And if they keep misbehaving, I'll put you in timeout. I won't ban you, but I'll put you in timeout. If you can't control yourself or handle yourself, then I will make sure that you suffer the consequences of harassing my chat. So chill. State a claim upon relief that is plausible on its face, a claim that has facial plausibility when the plaintiff pleads factual content that allows the court to draw the reasonable inference that the defendant is liable for misconduct alleged. As a preliminary matter, plaintiffs take issue with phantom exhibits. Exhibits Owens references in his motion to dismiss but neglected to include ECF number 13 at 4. Plaintiffs are generally correct that Rule 12b 6-stage review is limited to the complaint four corners, and here I need not look beyond the four corners to conclude that plaintiffs have not stated any claim. I am only on for a few minutes, so that's fine, Max. You can be here as long as you want to be. Well, I'm sure that they've got a spin on this, Alfie. Don't let them get to you. They've got a spin on this. You have to understand that they're doing this on purpose to rile you up. And I'm not riled up by them because they got their facts completely wrong on about 90% of everything that they file. And here I need not look beyond the four corners to conclude plaintiffs have not stated a claim. Thus, Owens has subsequently filed the attachments. I have not considered them. The gist of plaintiff's complaint is that Owen neglected to enforce the protection orders, instead inquired about. No, it wasn't inquired, they investigated. Instead of following the actual lawsuit, the protection order at its face value, they instead went and started investigating it to see whether it was true or not, which is enough to have them go up against them for basically, breaking the Constitution. The Owens thus violated 18 of USC by not affording the protection orders full faith and credit. They also allege due process is violation. Thus, first, there's no plausible claim for a violation. Well, if they're doing it, then they are. Honey talking Jessica. I'm on forever, Shizzy. That's good. Even assuming there's a private right of action under this provision or that is enforceable through 1983, both doubtful assumptions that says Owens counsel did not comply with Rule 5.2, which generally requires redaction of documents with social numbers and other personal information. The court will direct the clerk to seal the attachments. Is either the constitutional statutory incarnations. The full faith and credit clause is a rule of decision for courts, not an implied federal cause of action. Construing the Parental Kidnapping Prevention Act, if the statute does not display an intent to create a private remedy, then a case action does not exist and courts may not create one. So those orders shall be accorded full faith and credit by the court of another state, Indian tribe or territory, and enforced. Plaintiffs have not alleged Owens was a court or law enforcement. Indeed, they have not alleged much of anything about him other than that he is a state employee who sent one innocuous email. Well, it was more than one. That was enough to basically raise cause that he was not following out his duties of even prosecuting these people. Moreover, they never alleged what was in their view supposed or how they were supposed to have enforced the orders. No, it's very clear on how you're supposed to enforce the orders, and they refused to do it. That was the thing. So basically, he threw the Levy County sheriffs under the bus, which is going to be much worse on them. Moreover, they never alleged what was, in their view, supposed to do. No, they very much did. In short, no facts alleged to a plausible claim based on 2265. Second, the due process claim fares no better. That claim is pleaded as difficult to understand, but in responding to the motion to dismiss, plaintiffs explained this by ignoring the validity of the Ohio protection orders and instead initiated an investigation of the truthfulness statements and obtained those orders. Defendant Owen effectively nullified the protection orders. I mean, I think that's pretty damn clear. The closest plaintiffs get is paragraph 15, where they insert defendant in quoting Officer Williamson's report, which itself suggests Owen is an assistant state attorney, but an assistant state attorney is not law enforcement personnel of Florida. Concluding that the prosecutor's conduct fell outside the statutory definition of law enforcement officer, but they take their orders from him. That's where if he says you need to go arrest this person, bring them in, and we will make sure that that this is handled by us because they're breaking a restraining order. They've made it impossible to have a restraining order for somebody in another state. I mean, it just really ruins it. And I'm pretty sure that the appeals court is going to uphold a lot of this because they're going to just be like, oh, no. We can't have this kind of behavior because the violations against somebody's rights to move about freely, this puts a high burden on victims. You know, how would they feel if this was anybody else? You know, this can lead to really bad problems. Definitely defining law enforcement officer as authority to bear arms and make arrests. No, but he can prosecute him. He's part of the law enforcement process. Without any process whatsoever, there are a number of problems with this, but the most obvious that plaintiffs have pleaded no facts plausibly suggests Owen nullified anything. Even if he asked for a copy of the documents and pondered whether plaintiffs obtained the orders unlawfully, that does not nullify any valid order. It does not preclude a court or law enforcement from acting on the orders. Well, it does if they won't prosecute, because he basically said he's not even going to prosecute them. Regardless, plaintiffs not alleged facts to support any substantive due process claim. So they're basically saying that there wasn't enough due process in this, or custodial relationship exists, blah, blah, blah. Owens raised other arguments, including prosecutorial immunity and qualified immunity, but I need not address anything more than what was set out above. Plaintiffs have not plausibly alleged any claim. The clerk will enter a judgment and say plaintiff's claims are dismissed on merits or failure to state a claim, and the clerk will then also close the file. So ordered December 19th, 2025. As you can see, plaintiff's claims are dismissed on the merits for failure to state a claim. Now, whenever they dismiss this doesn't mean that they can't appeal, that they can't come back and actually give them or refile and amend those kinds of things. So those actually can be done. Those all can be refiled, reamended, and just make sure that they do it right. Apparently they were looking for more to get this particular case right out in front of them, and they didn't feel that there was enough. Yeah, Jeremy will appeal. It may or may not win. Time will tell. But for you to make a conclusion to something that hasn't been said yet, is it just a tad crazy? Well, we know that Hurricane is just a tad crazy, and you have to understand the kind of people that you're dealing with here. Yeah, you're dealing with some pretty kooky people in the first place. So I will be happy to share the kind of crazy people that you're dealing with here. In case people were wondering, I do have a lot of information that really they don't like to see. So give me just a second. I'm gonna hit a couple of things here. We've got, and we've got, what is this? Oh, he's going to lose the appeal. Suing prosecutors is sovereign citizen insanity. What will the coat be? Will you give him an open letter? It seems like you're very salty there, child, but it's okay. You'll get over it. I'm sure that you'll find a way to spend this however you want to. But we've already got your number there. But thank you very much for the $5 super chat. And will I give him an open letter? I don't need to. I do open letters whenever I feel like doing open letters. Debbie Baker is gifted 10 memberships. Thank you very much for the 10 gifted memberships. And most definitely, welcome to the shit show. Every single day, a new flavor of fuckery. 'Cause everybody sucks, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of rocks. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, balderdash, poppycock, bollocks, and fuckery. Living all over again. Ooh. Beautiful day, though, I will tell you. It is a beautiful day. And then we've also got the Hazy Monteagle says, at least Jeremy's legal team does not forget to attach the most important bits, i.e. exhibits. Of course. That is. And you can't win every single case. People think that just because you lose a case means that you lost every single thing. That's not true. It does go to show how bad some of these fools are, because they do have some serious issue. Oh, it's not about feelings. Owen had violated his oath of office and violated federal law, plain and simple. The court is kicking the can down the road. Absolutely right, Yamaha. That is the biggest problem that they have figuring this out, that it is just kicking the can down the road. But then, so just so you guys know, there will be some spicy language in this. And if, in case you're wondering, this is what I wanted to show you a little bit earlier. And it's going to show the kind of behavior that these folks will exhibit on a regular basis. And so be prepared. There's going to be a little bit of information that some of you may have already heard, or maybe you haven't heard, and this is all new to you. So this comes in from Bully Hunter right here, and it shows right here. Google, just all you have to do is Google paint chips and kidnapping, and you'll see the kind of people that you're dealing with here. Now, this is from their fully authenticated Telegram chats between these thugs. Legal notice, they're publicly available screenshots, and they're taken from Telegram. So you can get these pretty much anywhere. And we'll just start out right here. Having Courtney Codazane, or I think I'm pronouncing that right. Of course, Paint Chips can always correct me if I got the name wrong. 100% is why I want to show you. My son is going to help me bootleg this thing tomorrow. He knows what he's doing. What? This woman is a see you next Tuesday. And then, of course, way back URLs, taxes. They got Paint Chip here. It says Seattle courts muzzle victims. Darvos goes mainstream. Narcissus mega influencers like Nova Shavarian. The Hales now have a legal cudgel. Ooh. See, they're going after Hales. Amazing. Joey, can you tell me what this forum is from? And then they start adding more things. You got Importer, and it's written right on there. Starts going through more posts. And then, of course, it's James Wet Dream. Don't give him his views. Here's the video. Effing told you. Ha, ha, ha. He's so high. His lip smacking is at epic levels. Still uploading. Honestly, want your guys' feedback and help here. Where do I punch this man to truly crush his soul? It's under review. Does anyone know how I can screen record this on my iPhone so you guys can watch this atrocity? You need to see it. I'm not exaggerating. Now, these are people that like to work together and coordinate. As you can see, they're coordinating right here. That they're coming after all of this stuff. I'm done making content for the day. That was fun. FM tax return story tomorrow. I think I'm going to have some fun with McGibney since I'm a major player now. I've been finally acknowledged for my talents. The video I have in mind I'm going to produce is going to be a doozy. Welcome to the major leagues. As I said, and if you think that these are the only ones having these little backroom conversations, It wouldn't surprise me to find out that if Paint Chips is doing that here, that he hasn't looped in the fleas on all of this, looped in little vomit, looped in all of these bad players, and they got caught. They got called out on it. McGibney pulled every single one of these. This got all turned over to the FBI. They're investigating them because it started turning where they were talking about committing violent acts and wanted to make sure that people were reached out to protect themselves. So the behavior that these folks have been exhibiting over quite some time is been, if they can't get people one way, then they turn violent. Courtney Conozon, he just said the video, especially the people that I'm stalking, which there she admits that she's stalking people. Has anyone made credible death threats against Dinesh or McGibney ever? I'm talking, is there a single Sug Knight out there that had held one of these guys off a building by the ankles? I can see them operating like this for years and that never happening. As you can see, there's a threat that he's making. And that's by Paint Chip right there, currently making a threat. Making a threat. Has anyone done this? And then Courtney says, I don't believe that ever happened. And then, of course, he talked about in circles of pages testimony, making himself look like the liar, the crazy person. Paint Chip says, well, that's lame. His kids, big stalkers, are a plastic surgeon, 110-pound woman. You think these guys would pay B-list gangster rapper to make some threats and give them some street cred? Because that's how Paint Chips operates. He likes to make nice little threats there. He can't help himself. Of course, we know that his threats just got him in all kinds of trouble. Little backdoor action. A little that might be a little too hard. They didn't care. They just put a pillow in his mouth and told him to shut up. And then, of course, that's effing lame. But of course, Dinesh did his channel his inner Will Smith when he told me to keep his wife's name out of his mouth. And see, as you can see, that. Now, once they do that, then see, the attacks don't work on these people. So then they go after their family because they're saying, oh, but you're dealing with me. But no, that's not how people like Paint Chips operates. They feel that it makes them bigger if they go after someone's wife, because they realize that they're not getting anywhere with that. Then they'll go after their kids. If they're not getting anywhere with that, then they'll go after anybody that's associated with them. If they can't get anywhere with that, then they'll come after people other ways, because this is their behavior. This is their MO. They've got a need to in their mind, whatever sick, twisted way it is, to win. And then, of course, I wonder when McGibney's woman is a C1T. McGibney might have some issues rallying a posse. And of course, then they talk about bashing transgenders. Then we do not cave to that fool. Don't withdraw the grievances. I may have to duplicate my own against him for the same thing, but I expect you will stay the course. He's a scumbag. That's between Joey Camp, or should I say Crump. Not drill hand. How did I fan hand that? And then, of course, anyone send one in. They're talking about sending in sanctions. And this is the kind of behavior that they do. Also, they like mailing things into the court and harass the court and take up judicial resources. And then they say that it won't be taken serious. And then, of course, Paint Chip says, he said that, as to me, he was like, my legal fees to defend against the grievances are additional damages. I said, doesn't Dinesh have to pay them? He said, yes. I said, again, why should I give an F? Where's my money? Paid actors, again, paid to do this kind of misbehavior. And then, of course, Joey Crump says, okay, let's wait until Richard is through the process. You see, coordinate and do multiple attacks from different areas. And if one fails, then the other one steps in and tries the same behavior. This is their MO. This is the way they behave. I will have one drafted ready for filing, so it is buried one after another. See, right here. You can see exactly what they're talking about. Right here, they're saying, wait until Richard's through with the process. And he says, I will have another one drafted, ready for filing, so he's buried one after the other. I used to negotiate with Hasidic Jews. This fucking guy is an amateur hour. Yeah. So this is Paint Chip's attitude towards McGibney might have some issues rallying a posse against me in Australia. Just saying. I'm going to eventually make content on how McPickle hosted therapy sesh to scare a bunch of black women who were harassed on the site he knows that he owns, but in the end only save the white chick. And of course, these are the kinds of coordinated attacks that they do. Malice, note that the buddy is making his claims not of Bulliesville himself. They're reporting my account so feverishly right now. I honestly believe that they had created an excellent program that would be received well. Just remember, Stephen so-and-so is a very old man. He fell into the trap I was preparing for Bullyville. I wish Bullyville himself said it, though. They aren't directly answering my questions because they can't. And then, of course, more emails. Part of this is coming from Crump and Paint Chip. And, of course, they've got their mass email flag that they're throwing up there. That this morning woke up to get McGibney having hacked my administrative panel to Telegram chat overnight that he created a fake profile, Courtney or something, and started spamming the group, making it seem like Courtney was saying stuff, but the log showed it was James McGibney. As a result of this hijacking, I've deleted the entire channel from Telegram and have been ensured that Telegram keeps no records, logs, or IP addresses or other users. Before James had hacked the administrative panel, I was the only admin, the only person who could post. All alleged posts prior to last night are photoshopped and unauthenticated. No one except me and my bot could post. James, see, they have a bot. James has been hacking my accounts for many years. It's tiresome. Telegram has confirmed that there are no records remaining of my group and that someone James hacked it. I have the email exchanges with this from morning show that someone James took control overnight, added 6 profiles of various names, and several others, all fake and probably James or his associated Dinesh or Nick Geppetta. And then, of course, these are the kinds of people. Inmate details for Samuel Kimbrell, Douglas County, Omaha, and more. Even so, they no longer exist. These extortion scams were created by McGibney's and Moore's in the early days of Internet 2.0. Those screenshots are why lawsuits were filed against me. Then this site went poof. It was bait. 100% took it, but then I verified with the cop friend there was a case, but it was sealed. Must have assumed that my sister would give me deeds. It could have ruined her or me one go. What is he doing? It's a crime. Surely should be in jail, but it wasn't her who verified it. Or is he honeypotting people with feds so they can get him to slide? And multiple more. Sorry to see you go, Timmy. Please remember, hit that like and that thumbs up. Yeah, that's great. That's wonderful. Jeremy can now ask for the 11th Circuit for appeal. If they deny it, then he can do an en banc review of the Owens case. Yeah, I mean, they can most definitely do it. But as I said, these folks, and as I was showing you earlier, this is the website where you can easily find all of this kind of information, and it's all publicly available. Shows all about their behavior and trying to bring down these folks that are causing a lot of the bad stuff that you're seeing in the anti-Hales ecosystem. They've been very, very much going after Jeremy, going after anybody that speaks out about this kind of thing. As you could tell by Hurricane Head there, that they've got issue, that they think that it's really important that, but if you really look at the case, it's a short-lived case. You can't win every single case whenever you're bringing up a lawsuit. But for some, they think that that's some major win. It would have been a major defeat if they actually had succeeded in bringing Rex Owens in this case initially to court and having this heard, because a lot of this that has occurred since then could have been prevented had he actually just followed through with allowing those misbehaving people to be pulled off of this case. To say, hey, these people are breaking protective orders, and these need to be, they need to not be doing that. If they would have actually arrested them like they were supposed to do and brought them before the judge saying, listen, they're breaking protective orders, civil protective order in the state of Ohio by being within a certain distance of them, which we know that they violated because they ended up getting in trouble in Ohio. And they're from what I understand, there's supposed to be even more of that information coming out about what exactly is going on in Ohio. I don't have access to those documents because from what I understand, that's a sealed case. Now, if you have a sealed case, you can't be showing those kinds of things. But they have done so anyway. The whole anti-Hale's ecosystem has been going on a rampage of going after them. So that's where we're at with most of this stuff. It's not a big, like I said, I don't have a whole lot of bombshells to give anybody. I just read court documents, and I think it angers them just a little bit, just a tad bit. But alas, I'm sure they'll get over it. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah to one and to all. Yes. Try drinking honey tea, honey and water. Well, just, there's all kinds of things that you can do to help, clear up your throat if you're having issues, sinus, all that kind of stuff. There's over-the-counter things. There's home remedies. I don't know, because I'm no doctorologist, so just like I'm no lawyerologist. These kinds of things don't bother me too much. Oh my gosh. So what would you guys like for Christmas? I hope that you're enjoying this. If you are, hit the thumbs up, or hit the thumbs down. If you're not liking it, either way, it still works well for the algorithm. Let's see. I think I have something else for you guys. Give me just a second. I know that I was going to do that. Oh, that's right. I will have a stream coming up for the new year. It's actually going to be multiple streams. And you can just sort of determine when you want to come by. And I'm going to do a total of 10 hours for the 10K subs. And that is my way of saying thank you. What I'm going to have is I'm going to do a stream in early afternoon, and it'll go until the wee hours of the morning, probably finish up about 1:30. And it's going to, I'll probably have some guests on at various times. And I'm going to do them in like 2.5 hour spots with maybe if there's a little overbleed, that's fine too. My wife wants to spend a little time on New Year's Eve with me, and I don't blame her. I want to spend a little time with me also, but I also do want to spend some time with you fine folks on New Year's Eve and sort of ring in the new year right. And I know that there's probably going to be all kinds of like really cool stuff going on. So it might be the first 2 hours I will be going over court documents that I haven't been able to go over while I was busy. Like I said, I'm going to be really busy just with holidays, family, all that kind of stuff. So I won't be able to, and I might be able to do a stream here or there. I don't know if I'll have the ability to do camera. It'll be more of a audio medium. But I will be doing a little bit, just for some fun, and I promise you guys a 10 hour for 10K, and you guys got me there. So I really want to give a big shout out to everybody and a lot of thanks for everything that came about. I mean, I did start doing a stream for my 3-year anniversary. I think it was, 3 years that I've been doing this on the tubes. And I've been having a good time doing it. What I could also do is just give you guys a nice long, members only, music, or I could do a members only with the letters, which would always be fun too. but I don't think I could do 10 hours of that. I don't think I have 10 hours of that material. I might, you never know. Hey, Wes and Bama. Hey, how come everyone can hear and see how much of an ugly inbred country SOB I really am? Well, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it is very interesting. Where did it go? I wanted to show you guys something really, really quick that's going to be coming out on Sunday. Give you just a little taste of what's going to be coming up on Sunday. And let me see if I can find it. It is, why is it not? Oh yeah, because it's in the shorts. So just so you get a nice flavor of what this is going to be about. All right. I'm going to give you just a little bit of taste of what you're going to get to see. So give me just a second and let me share screen right here. So this is a short that you are going to see come popping up right here. It is for the Star Spangled Helmet. And I'll give just a little taste right here.
All right, Lori's in.
Sold. All right, finally, here we go.
Lori's back.
Yes. As you can see, you got Starchasm, Rosalind, Duke, Megan Fox, and Ketchup, and they all gang up on me. And if you want to see our response to that, well, guess what? You're going to get a chance to see that tomorrow. I think it's going to be dropping at about 6 or something like that, 6 or 7. So you're going to get a chance to see our response to the most glorious Star Spangled Helmet going up for auction and our responses to it. And then I believe on Christmas Eve, you'll get to see I think it's about an hour and a half. But I did cut some stuff out of there because there was just like big open air gaps and no conversation. You're going to get to hear all of the the dirty backroom conversations that we had. It's quite interesting, but yeah, it was edited. Like I said, I went in and edited it because there was just a lot of dead air. I think from the time that I started up to the time that I believe it was Starchasm that joined me first. Starchasm came in and then I, kept it recording, and we just had a really good time. Nothing wrong with that. We really quite enjoyed it. Did Yama get Mike fixed? Well, I don't know. Maybe he did. And also it will have for you guys, I have opened it up so there will be ability for the hour, I think it's hour and a half, hour 15 minutes. It will have the chat opened up. You guys will be able to chat back and forth, have a good time, enjoy yourself. And that's what I set it up for. I was like, I want my peeps here to have a good time with this whole, YouTube experience. So, what is the time where I am? Currently, it is 3 o'clock where I am, Mark. 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Merry Christmas to you and yours. Safe travels. Well, I don't know how much traveling we'll be doing, but we'll just have to see. The plan is, like I said, time with some family. And I know that not everybody's able to. I hear that Tug does a wonderful holiday stream. I'm usually not able to. Do you want to know what I wish for Christmas? I wish for you to stand up and shake your hips. No, you don't. No, you don't. That's not going to be too enjoyable. Oh, that's not going to be too enjoyable. I am standing. How do you know I'm not standing right now? They like to mock me and tell me that I'm short. It's okay. It's okay. I got something for them. Oh, that I've got something for them. And I do have, I can shake them quite well. Well, thank you, Blossom. I appreciate it. No, I enjoy doing the doing the music, doing the stories, the tales. I enjoy doing Sunday Spies. I enjoy watching people come in and have a good time here. Oh, that's right. That is right. If anybody is in Duluth tonight, anybody, his sister, which will be the sugar lime blue. Damn it, I'm probably messing that up. Yeah, sugar lime blue is going to be in Duluth at Sweetwater Cafe. Will be there, and they will be doing a nice intimate acoustic thing. It should be wonderful. And if you haven't, yeah, thank you. Sugar Lime Blue. See, I was like, they're going, man, I'm going to get the name wrong. But yeah, Sugar Lime Blue will be there. And they will be doing a nice intimate at Sweetwater Cafe in Duluth. So if you're in the Atlanta area, go check it out. Go check it out. It should be an absolute blast. But as for me, this is, like I said, this is my last bit until I get back right before the beginning of the year. Whenever I get back, it's going to kick off and ring in the new year right. I might, you know what I should do, Wolfgang, is I should reach out to your sister and have her on for a short period of time. If she's amicable to that, I could probably make that happen and have her come by for, 10, 15 minutes or so. I'll have to see what I got going on. Of course, they might be busy that night. I never know. But if they are available, I might have Sugar Lime Blue on. If I can make that happen, I will. I try to have a little bit of fun here. And let's see what else we got here going on. Oh yeah, I remember. I was looking for something in particular that I wanted to show you guys. Let me see if I can find it right here. And we're going to go there and there. And what is that? Oh, okay. Remove. Why has that been deleted? All right. Remove that. Remove that. Okay. I think we've got it here. Let's see. That is, I just wanted to give you guys a reminder of how much fun that we like to have over here. And these are some of the most fun people right here. Just know Hale's talk and she'll be down with it. Oh yeah, no. If I'm doing something where I've got guests on that are not part of any of the Hale stuff, then I don't talk about the Hale stuff. It would just be talk about music and that kind of stuff. Yeah, there would be no Hale's talk. Like if I'm doing a stream like that, there's not Hale's talk. There might be at the very end, but yeah, it's more about celebration of everything. So that's how I roll. Same way whenever I have Mo on here, we don't do Hale's talk. And I mean, we might allude to it, but other than that, we're too busy having fun. But what I've got for you is this right here, because this is where I'm going to be sending you to go harass this man after this stream. Right here is
Da 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 da. Perfect from the jump, 2 lanes aligned. Crossroad with J-Mac, match tugs grind. San Francisco call with the headline spin. Tunsil twins buzzing in, they bought it right in. For hours it was heavy, a day or two sore. Not weeks, not long, just a brief dull roll. What once felt bleak found a warmer shine. Sad to see them go, but it's perfectly fine. Goodbye Megan, goodbye Rosalind. Go make that show, will clap from afar where the bright lights flow. Her turn to breeze and the tailwinds blow. Goodbye to the co-host. Hello to the co-host. Took the bros, mass steady bright with a pear-shaped shine. Goodbye to the co-host. It's perfectly fine. Yeah, Meg, take the skyline, chase the breaking lead. Cut the fog clean with the camera speed. Oh, stick the byline, pair, rumor, 2 rhyme, turn rough, noise, move with the careful line. We Found a rhythm in the late night grind. Jokes hit quicker once they ache unwind. Maybe it's better that the river chose different banks for you, one bridge for the bro. Goodbye Megan, goodbye Rosalind, go make that show. We'll clap from afar where the bright lights flow. Her turn to breeze and the tailwinds blow. Goodbye to the co-host, the lord of the co-host of the bros. Man steady bright with a pear-shaped shine. Goodbye to the co-host, it's perfectly fine. Not a fallout, just a change in rhyme. Different verses keeping perfect time. Two pairs parted, two bros aligned. Tongue still twin headlines on the coastal line.
Besties.
We'll cheer you on while the credits climb. Love in the sandals, peace in the mind. I got goodbye Megan, goodbye Rosalind, go make that show. We'll clap from afar where the bright lights flow. Her turn to breeze and the tailwinds blow. Goodbye to the co-host, the lord of the bros, the bros. When the night gets quiet and the stars align, there's a pair of seats if you swing back by. Goodbye to the co-host, it's perfectly fine. Goodbye to the co-host, it's perfectly fine.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, you know, I forgot. Oh, what in the hell? I'm not showing you guys that because that'll get me in all kinds of trouble. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Says the holidays should be ecosystem free. Yes, they absolutely should be. And let me see. I want to see where the Parrot is at this point in time and what he's got going on, because I don't want to kick you guys over there if he's just going to dump out and leave. So give me just a second. I want to make sure that if he is going, that he's not nearing the end. If he is, then I've got. Oh, nope, he's hitting the end, and I don't want to dump you guys over there if he's hitting the very end. Where I'm going to send you guys is one of my really good friends. This is, and because, yeah, he's doing his fleet cap right now, which means he's going to be ending very soon. And I've got a very, very really wonderful place that I want to send you guys. And it's going to be going over to see the Broken Baker. He's got some guests over there, and they are having a 12-hour stream that will be going on for quite some time. And they're just there having an absolute blast. And that's where I'm going to redirect you guys, because I don't see enough of the Broken Baker, and I think that he is one of the most wonderful people that I've met in this space. But don't tell him that, because then he'd want to get all touchy-feely, and he creeps me out. So I'm going to send you guys over there. He doesn't follow the Hale stuff. He doesn't care about Hales. So if you don't want to hear about Hales, this is the place to go, because he covered Karen Reed, good people. And he is, did a very big fundraiser for Karen Reed. And that's pretty amazing. So go check out the man, and I will see you guys on the flip side in, a few days. We'll catch you at New Year's. We'll catch you at New Year's Eve. Until then, be kind to one another and peace.
So good when the lights all glow. Is your bargain bin sent alive from the nut show? I got my Velcro shoes and my dollar store hat, a short bus scholar with a mic and a chair. Yeah. It started with a stream and a half-broke cam. Now we're decking out the chaos like a nutty telegram. You showed up anyway, don't know what went wrong. Now you're stuck in the circus singing Shizzy's song. Mine's in the trenches with a wrench in hand, yeeting butts to the shadow band land, while I'm reading chord docs rocks like a bedtime tale. Y'all still here riding the soft brand slate of Hale. So here's my Christmas card wrapped in duct tape pride. From the window liquor host to the nut crew worldwide. Merry Christmas to my chat, yeah, you beautiful weirdos. From the lurkers in the back to the day one heroes, to the mods who keep this busted sled on track. You're the reason this nut shack keeps coming back. If you're here for the drama, you're here for the laughs. You're my holiday miracle, my off-label stash. So raise a glass of whatever you got in that cup. Merry Christmas from the fool who never shuts up. Some of you pop in just to say, hey, shit, you're nuts. Then you stay 3 hours while I roast legal slugs. You tolerate my tangents and my bargain brand takes. Still type up in the chat when the internet breaks. My eyes play whack-a-mole when the trolls roll through. Finger on the trigger like not today, dude. Every time I was wrapped like a little red bow. Happy holidays, jackass, enjoy the shit show. So if you ever hit like, or you've ever hit send, you're officially part of this badly wrapped friend. Merry Christmas to my chat, yeah, you beautiful weirdos. From the lurkers in the back to the day one hero, to the minds with sore thumbs and eyes bloodshot, guarding this clown car like a North Pole outpost lot. If you're laughing at the screen or just shaking your head, you're the reason Santa let me stream instead. So grab a cookie and a seat, don't care if it's stale. Merry Christmas from the nut who refused to bail. About the helmet and the buzzing low gear, but you carried this channel through a wild ass year. Through the late night rants and the 10-hour runs, through receipts, bankrupt clowns, and the missing brain cells funds. If there's any kind of magic in this janky little show, it's you in the chat making this dumpster glow. Oh, so here's to the replays, the sorry came late, the ones watching quiet while folding their plate, the members, the gifters, the broke but still here. You paid in attention, that's premium cheer. And mod my L's with the nerves of steel. You keep the sleigh upright on a ball spare wheel. When I say something spicy and the room gets hot, you're already 2 steps ahead of the plot. If I had a fancy speech, I'd still mess it up. So I'll just raise this lukewarm coffee cup. Merry Christmas from the chaos connoisseurs to the quiet heroes, to the moms who mop up every digital fight. You're my dysfunctional, delightful Christmas light. If you laugh face palm or yelled at the screen, you carved in the lore of this busted machine. So from my nut shack card to your rented device, Merry Christmas, you maniac. Thanks for being this nice. When the stream goes dark and the screen goes black, just know this nutcase is still coming back. You kept me afloat while I tripped on my shelf. Like, how did this work? Who let him stream by himself? So have a warm, loud, slightly unhinged night. May your drinks be strong and your drama stay light. And from your helmet wearing host on this Christmas delight, Merry Christmas, my people. Now go eat and go have a beautiful